Hi everyone, let's see how to work on a web table today, and we'll go to this w3schools.com, and there we will go to this web table, HTML table, and we'll record how to record or how to take all the data and show it in the console. So all the rows and all the column data we can show it in the console, and we will also be doing it for dynamic table. So it's like we'll not hard code anything. So later on, like suppose tomorrow the data is going to change and there's more rows and columns are getting added, then that data also populated in our console. Okay, so let's get started. Let's go to our Eclipse. So I have already written to go to this website. Then I'll just write first we have to check the or inspect the table. Okay, so let's see, the table has a ID called customers. So let's just copy that customer and go to your workspace and just write web element table is equal to driver dot find element by dot ID customers. Okay, so I have missed one more bracket at the end. Okay, so now we got our table. We need to find out all the rows present in the table, right? So there are total 7 rows. To get all the rows from that particular table, we have to use list of web element, right? Because to get all the rows, we have to add it to a list. So we have to write here table. Instead of driver.find element, I am writing here as table.find elements. Okay, because we are inside the table now, and we will be writing find elements, not find element. So find elements will give us list of web elements. So if you can see, the return type over here is list of web element, right? And just type by dot tag name. So it has a tag name called tr, right? Always save your project or file. Just press Ctrl Shift S to save it. Okay, and let's just print and see what is the size of the total number of rows we are getting. And let's just close the driver also. So after printing the total number of rows, we are going to close the browser, right? So let's just run this from here. So it's going to open in Firefox. Yes, and it also printed 7 for us, right? Because if you see here, it has the header is also one row, and rest of the rows from the T body are also rows, right? So inside T body there are 7 rows if you see here. Okay, now let's access the columns. Okay, so to access the column, we can, as we can see, so every row has similar number of columns, right? So every row has 3 columns, right? So this row has 3 columns, 1 2 3. This row has 3 columns, 1 2 3, right? So we'll just have to take one row and print the column, total number of columns. So again we have to do list of web element, and we'll write here columns equal to table dot find elements. Okay, by dot XPath we have to say, because we cannot go to any other thing. We have to write XPath, and we have to create a XPath for the first row and then the column. So you have to just write the table name. Okay, let's just do one thing, tr of 1, because we are already inside the table, right? Tr of 1, then slash td. Okay, and let's just print the column size. Columns dot size, and we'll have to remove it from here and add it over here, right? So let's just run this. So it is opening Firefox. Okay, it went there, it printed 7, but it printed 8, right? The number of columns it is printing is 8, because looks like there are some hidden table which are having the ID as customers. That is when it is unable to find it. So what I will do is I'll just write here as double slash table at the rate ID equal to customers, and then we'll do the tr, and let's see what is happening now. So always remember to stop all the execution from console and then go ahead and run it. Okay, so this is also printing as 0. So let's do one thing. Let's just stop this, and this just do tr like this. Okay, one thing we are doing here is we are not going inside the t body, right? So okay, sorry, my mistake. tr1 has th, right? So it doesn't have td. So we have to do tr2, because yes, tr1 has td, sorry, th. So now when we do tr2, then it should print us. Again it is printing 0. Okay. So let me just write like this. Okay, because yeah, so what was happening is when I was writing this single slash, it was going, it was searching for tr directly inside table. Okay, but what we have here is we have a t body first. So if you are writing double slash, then it will go directly and go for tr. But if you write a single slash, it will directly search that under table. Okay, so that is when it was not working. So I just put a double slash so that wherever it is inside table, it will go and find it. So now let's run this. So we got our 3 here, right? We got 7 rows and 3 columns. Okay. So next what we have to do is we have to print all our elements which are present in the web table. Okay. So for that I have to take for loop. So I'll be writing for int I equal to 0, I less than rows dot size I plus plus. Okay, so now I'm going inside the rows. So to get all the cell data or the column data, we have to write int j equal to 0. We have to write a nested for loop. Okay, and we have to write j less than columns dot size then j plus plus. Okay, so this is called nested for loop, and then we just have to print it. So we can say here as just how we will get our record or data. So we just have to write okay, 1 second. Yes, we have to write driver dot find element by dot no, we have to write okay, we are inside the rows, then we are inside the columns. So what we need to write here is so to get all the data we have to write here. So the shortcut here is SISO and control space. If you do and hit enter, then it will print for you system.out.println. Okay, and what we need to write here is driver dot find element by dot xpath, and we have to give the expression like this one. Okay, and inside this tr number 2 we have to give the size or the I. We have to pass the I over here. So you just put double quotes like this and then give plus plus and then give here as I. Similarly for TD give like this, the brackets and within double quotes plus plus and J. Okay, so this will give us each and every data line by line. So if you want them to be in a single line, like one row column data in a single line, how exactly it is showing in the table in this single line, for that we have to write just print, not println. Okay, and what we can do is in the next statement we can just write again give some space. So after one cell data is printed, it will just have some dash dash or some space. Let's just give dash dash. Okay, and once it is done printing one particular row, what we can do is we can just write here as or just a println we can do, so that there will be a space between or there will be a line enter in between two rows. Okay, so let's just run this and see. So it's going to open Firefox and it's going to this website, and it should print all the cell data by now. Okay, it's throwing some exception. Let's see what is the error. It says unable to locate element, so it is unable to find the element or this XPath. So if you see, it is sending it 0 and 0, right? But as we know, in WebTable, the data can be accessed using tr1 td1, tr2 td2, like that. Okay, we do not have index as 0. So what we have to do here is we have to start from 1. So if we are incrementing this here, then we just have to write equal to, less than equal to, column also less than equal to, and now let's run this. So it's again opening Firefox and going to the website. Okay, and let's go to Eclipse. Looks like something is wrong. Okay, again we got some exception. Let's stop this and check it over here. Again, line number 23. Okay, unable to locate again. TR0. Okay, I think it didn't close that one. That's when it is saying. So this is the actual one. And let's see what is the error. TR1 and TD1 it didn't find. So why it didn't find TR1 and TD1? Let's go to the HTML table and look into that. Oh, okay. So TR1 doesn't have a TD over here, right? It has TH. So for getting TD, we have to go to row number 2 onwards, right? So row number 1 doesn't have any TD. So we just have to go to row number 2. So to go to row number 2, I'll just be writing over here as 2. Okay, because anyways for TH we have to write a separate code or a separate for loop. And let's now run this. Hope this time it will work. Okay, it's opening Firefox and it is going to the website. Okay, it has printed something, but it didn't print what we are expecting, right? We are expecting the table data, but it is printing some XPath, right? So what mistake we did is we didn't write here as get text, right? So we just went to the web element and we just tried to print it. But to print the text inside the web element, we have to write the get text, right? So now let's run this. So this becomes the 4th time we are running it, right? But yeah, it should work this time. And you will be knowing only when you'll do some mistakes like this, right? So do more debugging and learn more of Selenium. Okay, so it opened this website and then it should print all the data, all the TD data, and it should close this browser. Yeah, it closed the driver and it also printed all the table or cell data which are present in the web table, right? So we got all the table data. Let's see if it is matching or not. Yeah, so you can just check it quickly. How many rows we have? We can also print the number of rows. You just have to write over here print row 1, row 2, like that, right? and we can see it is giving all the exact data. So we can just write row number plus I minus 1. Okay. Because I is 2 here, and we'll be writing it as 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Oh, sorry, here I have printed as should be out. And here we can write the expert directly instead of table. So let's just make it as driver.find element. And for list of rows also, if you want, we can just write it like this, the XPath, but this is okay. We can have it as a tag name also over here. So this is how we can find all the cell data using Selenium. Right? So tomorrow or later, if the data is going to change, so this particular nested for loop is going to give us the exact result, or whatever the change data is, will show it. Okay, so now comes the homework part. So the homework for all of you is to find the header data. So all the header data we didn't print over here, company, contact and country. So just write the code to print all the header data. And yeah, I got disconnected, sorry for that. So you just write the code to get all the header data and print it in the console. Okay, so the code will be almost similar to this one, but with a little change. So I hope you all can do it. Just post your comment and questions in the comment sections. Thank you everyone. Have a great day.